Alright, this is just a quick one talking about starting as a Warlord, which is probably one of the best starts for new players. It's really easy to do, it's really simple, and it's really powerful. It's also really tanky, as well as being pretty fast as well. Um, so what you want to do is you want to start with Force Wave. This is probably the bread and butter skill. You just max out Force Wave. That's fine. I'll clean it up later. But you don't want to max out Force Wave at the beginning. You want to push Force Wave until you get to Trimmer, which allows you to spam it. And you just got to make sure you have a two-handed weapon for it. And then once you get to Trimmer, then you max out Force Wave. Probably 2 points in Force Wave to 1 point in the Mastery Bar after that until you get Blitz. And then when you get Blitz, then go back and max out Force Wave and then keep pushing Force Wave. When you're in Force Wave, you just make a two-handed weapon at the blacksmith or pick up any two-handed weapon you find on the ground. It all works. They all work really well. Use Milton's Cask because it makes Blitz a little bit easier to use. And then you get the Force Wave amulet from the Shambler, and it makes Force Wave do more damage. And this is all you need to start. You can push this and just fill out your gear for whatever you get later on. If you want to go full Force Wave, I wouldn't recommend it. It would look something more like this as a starter. Where you've got the Obsidian Warcleaver, you've got the Chosen's Gaze, you've still got the Shambler's Heart, you've gotten Balthazar's Crest because it's a physical damage one, Girdle, Juggernaut, Gargaball's Rings, and just, yeah, standard Force Wave stuff. But from here, from this base form, you go until you're in Act 3. And in Act 3, once you finish once you get into Homestead and you've unlocked Pine Barrens, that's when you can swap to this. That's when you can swap to a Blitz-based build, which will be doing much more damage, and it will be a lot tankier and safer. The reason you need to get into Pine Barrens is because the one of the bosses in the hidden cave drops this necklace, and this necklace makes Blitz essentially work better because it gives you the more points to blindside, and blindsides your AoE for Blitz, and it gives it minus cooldown. Then you're going to go farm the Velociraptors in Act 7. You can find them right outside the gate, but the best place to farm them is in the Oasis area. Between just the Forgotten Oasis area where there's a lot of them, and you get this, and this will give you your filler attack, which is Blade Arc. Blade Arc's filled in by Cronley's Signet, giving the secondary thing. Even though it doesn't give physical damage, it gives attack speed and laceration points. Refarm on Milton's Cask because you'll have a level 12 one, so you want to get a little bit higher level one by this point. Refarm another Warden's thing. Kill the second boss for the Hidden Path to get the attack damage converted to health one. Make a Devil's Cord. Make a Calamity. You can't get a Juggernaut yet. And then make sure you get an upgraded Balthazar's Crest, which is the boss right next to the Dynamite, your first Dynamite you pick up. And then this build is fairly simple. You're just pushing down the bar, getting Blade Arc, Laceration as a filler, maxing out Blitz and Blindside, pushing to Orion's Rage, getting more points in Military Conditioning, 1 point in this, getting more points in Break Morale, getting more points in Warcry. When you max all those out, and push into Oathkeeper as well, because you want to get up to at least Presence of Virtue 1 point, because it's 10% attack speed and 22 flat physical damage. Also might want to put 1 point in Safeguard, because it gives you that shield bonus. And then after you max out Orion's Rage, then I would push the Mastery Bar for Oathkeeper. I'd put 2 points in Rage and 1 point in Oathkeeper Bar, because you want to get Celestial Presence, and then you're going to swap over to Divine Mandate once you get that. But yeah, that's that. And this build you fill in your last pieces of gear with physical damage gear and resistances. And this build levels up really smooth all the way until like you're in your 50s or 60s, and then you can level this one all the way up to 100, and it works as a great farmer. Um, which would be something like this, where you've taken out Orion's Rage and taken out 10 points, put more points into Blade Arc and Laceration, gotten this all the way up to here, maxed out these things, 1 point in this still. To change that, like you can either do this to continue with Blade Arc, and continuing with Blade Arc would push slowly to a full Blade Arc build, this is the end game version of the Blade Arc build, um, it's like 2-piece Spell Scourge and 5-piece Targo, and instead of Blitz, you're now using Judgment as your kind of damage reduction, or your offensive ability reduction, defensive ability reduction. Or you could swap over to full Blitz, which is going to be using a default attack for your thing, getting Bargle's Root and the Wendigo Glare to fill in these two pieces to give Blitz more damage and give Shattering Smash more damage in range. This gives Shattering Smash more damage and Blitz more damage as well. And you're no longer using Blade Arc. Instead, you're using Righteous Fervor, and you're taking like the default attack replacers. Shattering Smash is your big default attack, and just taking the other ones to fill in your other pieces. And this one leads into one of the top 20 builds, which is a full-on focused Blitz thing. I still can't recommend using Chains of Anguish, but they like it because it's +1 all skills and a lot of damage and attack damage converted to health and offensive ability. There's a lot of good things about it, but the negative is pretty bad. And after the next patch, it's going to be even worse. So after the next patch, you would never use this belt. But yeah, this is kind of the in-game version. I'll put all the links in the description, and I'll do a farming video later, like where to farm each of these items for this version of the build and for this version of the build, as well as this version of the build. I'll do a farming video later on, just to show you the different areas. But for now, I'm just putting this out as quickly as I can, because I got to go take my son out. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.